every year it gets more and more, we get more and more intertwined. You know, I think particularly this year you'll see a change because the NBA has added 2 more roster spots. So there are these 2-way roster spots. So instead of the 15 roster spots the Celtics have always had, they have now 17, and those last 2 are 2-way players that you'll see back and forth with us even more than normal. And, you know, things like Scott moving up to Coach Stevens, Coach Stevens' staff. That just shows it's, you know, that flow back and forth has become more and more every year, and I think we'll see even more of that this year.
And I think exactly, we become one and the same when you talk about Bradley Stevens and his system that he and Danny is managing there. And I think last year we did see a lot of that, in particular when you look at an Abdel Nader who was here, their 58th draft pick last year that stayed with us the entire season, became Rookie of the Year. And now this year he's gone on and he's a first-year player for the Celtics, and more than likely we'll see him up here, along with the 2-way players that Bill was mentioning as well too.
We are on the parquet here in Waltham, Massachusetts, Boston Celtics training facility, and I'm pleased to be joined by Celtics head coach Brad Stevens. Coach, appreciate the time. Obviously not your typical off-season. What was the summer like for you?
Yeah, it was very atypical, right? And you finish playing May 26th and you take a couple of weeks break, but then you get right back to work because you're number one thinking about that draft that's coming up with the number 1 pick in tow. And then, you know, that becomes the number 3 pick through a trade, and that just really started a series of changes to our roster. And so it has been a unique offseason, but one in which, you know, hopefully we can adjust quickly from and, you know, start to gel with this new group.
Well, you had so many draft picks again this year, and one of the great new things about the NBA G League is the introduction of the 2-way contracts, and you filled those in right away with Jabari Bird and Kadeem Allen. Could you talk a little bit about those 2 players and what can we expect in Maine this year?
Yeah, I mean, and I really like both those guys. I think Kadeem, with his ability to defend the ball, with his ability to read plays and make plays, I think his shot at the NBA 3-point line is getting much better. Jabari is a very athletic wing who can play a number of different positions. He can play as your primary ball handler, he can play off the ball. And his ability to score the ball and make effort plays to score the ball is pretty unique. And so we're looking forward to having both those guys on 2-way contracts. And I think when you're looking at that, you're looking for hungry guys that no matter what day it is or where they are on that given day, are working the exact same way to get better. And I've seen that out of both those guys. I really like the 2-way contracts. I think that number one is it makes it even more appealing to play in the G League, which we've seen over the last few years, how much interest in the G League from players. You know, it used to be, especially when I was coaching at Butler, you know, a lot of our better players that weren't NBA level, you know, automatically thought, I'm going overseas and I'm going to try to make a living. And now that's changed quite a bit, not only because of the frequency of call-ups, but because of the opportunity that leads to, the training camp invites. Now the 2-way contracts just continue to enhance that.
Abdel Nader, Rookie of the Year in the NBA G League last year, terrific season offensively. What did you see in his development from last year to this offseason?
Yeah, he's a really talented wing. You know, we thought going into last year that he could have easily been on our roster, but we thought a year in the G League would really help him. He did a great job. I think Scott did a great job with all those guys and helping kind of transition them to being a professional basketball player and to being ready for the NBA. And he's got a number of guys, not just Nader and not just Yabusele, that will be in training camps and around teams this year with a chance to make them.
You mentioned Yabusele. Gershon was the other player who got a little bit of playing time with the Red Claws at the end of the season into the playoffs. What do you see his potential to be?
Well, I think Gershon is a guy that has a world of potential because of his versatility at the 4 or the 5. He can shoot the ball. The best thing that I think he does is pass the ball. And so he's got a real feel for the game, but he's also got the lateral quickness to guard different guys. And so we think he's got a pretty big upside.
Were you the one that coined the nickname, the Dancing Bear?
No, I don't do nicknames.
No.
That was my assistant, Micah Shrewsbury. And anybody in Boston will tell you Micah's a better interview than I am.
All right, fair enough. finally, you touched on it a little bit, the growth of the NBA G League. Where do you see the direction of this league headed, and why do you see this relationship between Maine and the Celtics as an important tool for you?
Yeah, I think we don't look at it as Maine and the Celtics, we look at it as the Celtics, right? And so, obviously you have your own logo and you play in a different arena, but we look at it as one big group. And it's that important that we need everybody in Maine to be on the same page we're on offense, defense, in the locker room and everything else. Because it is someplace that we're gonna have our young guys spend a lot of time. And when they're spending time up there, we need to make sure that it is preparing them for the next time they play, not the Westchester Knicks, but the New York Knicks. And, I've felt really comfortable with that relationship, really excited about it as we move forward, and think it'll just continue to grow and grow.
All right, Coach Brad Stevens, we appreciate your time and best of luck the rest of the way.
Thank you, Evans.
Come cheer on your 3-time Atlantic Division champion Maine Red Claws as they open their 9th season in style. Witness a night of high-flying dunks, wild plays, and the thrilling excitement of Crustacean Nation, all starting at $7. Call our ticket office or head to MaineRedClaws.com to purchase your tickets.
Equals 35. 40 plus. Okay. Does someone have something to say?
Delta Dental knows.
What is it?
Every smile has the power to tell a story.
Happy birthday.
Like, I have the best job in the world. As the nation's leading dental benefits provider, we make it easy to protect your smile and keep it healthy.
I look at it as though every house is mine and my family's in it. There's a lot of responsibility with it, but I'd want the same if it was somebody coming to my house. It's important. I believe in the product.
Well, Evans, we are off to another season here, and even though it's a new season, similar results. Very good start to the season for the Red Claws.
Just win, baby. The Red Claws getting it done again. A huge opening night victory. Maine off to another terrific start under new head coach Brandon Bailey.
And how about game one? We already saw records falling with the night that Andrew White had. Trey Davis off to a great start this year. So many new guys like LJ Peak really stepping in and getting the job done right away.
Yeah, this is an entire new roster, new coaching staff. None of these players played here last year, and it was a great start to the season. You're right, Andrew White coming in and dropping 37 points on opening night. The Expo was rocking as always.
You mentioned brand new head coach Brandon Bailey. He had never even been a head coach before. Steps right in. You see the poise that he'd had. You could tell he was probably a little bit nervous and getting ready for game one, but man, oh man, what a start he's had as well.
Yeah, he's been very impressive. He clearly knows what he's doing despite the fact that there's no head coaching experience there. He's been working in the Celtics organization for years, and he's really relishing this opportunity.
And one of the things we've seen this year in the G League is one of those new rules, and that's the two-way contract, and we've got a couple really good players for the Red Claws right now.
Oh man, Jabari Bird is just an electric shooting guard, and Kadeem Allen a terrific point guard as well. The Red Claws are loaded.
This year, the G League and the NBA is utilizing a new two-way contract. It gives teams more flexibility with roster space, and it gives players more opportunity to find those NBA jobs before potentially having to go overseas. You can spend up to 45 days in the NBA, making the rookie league minimum, and while you're in the G League, it's a $75,000 contract. The Boston Celtics have taken full advantage of the two-way contract by signing two of their second-round draft picks, Jabari Bird and Kadeem Allen.
And we are here with the two Red Claws two-way players, Jabari Bird, Kadeem Allen. Gentlemen, welcome to Maine. Give me your thoughts, Kadeem, here on your time here. Hasn't been long in the state, but what do you think in Maine?
It's a great place to be, especially really being in Portland, one of the most popular cities in Maine, and, having a chance to play in this arena in front of the great crowds that's here. And, I've been enjoying my time here.
Jabari, I know you're from California, right? It's a little cold here. What are your thoughts of Portland?
Honestly, I'm getting adjusted to it, I'm not too familiar with the snow and the cold weather, but hasn't been too bad so far.
And I'm loving it, you know, coming here, playing with these guys, playing in front of these great fans.
Tell me a little bit about becoming the two-way player, signing the two-way contracts this offseason. Both of you drafted by the Celtics in the second round. How much of a decision was that to sign the two-way contract to come to Maine?
At the end of the day, really, it was no decision. It was a great opportunity for me, also for JB in certain situations. And, you know, I'm just blessed to have a two-way contract, to be affiliated with the Boston Celtics, and, you know, for them to have our rights. And, something I work hard for, try to work hard to get a regular contract.
Now, obviously, part of it is you can be called up back and forth, a lot of activity. Jabari, you've already seen some time being transferred up to Boston. What has that process been like for you?
It's a lot of traveling, you know, back and forth between Maine and Boston. But, you know, it's what we signed up for. To have the opportunity, you know, to come down here and work on our game, and then also have the chance to get called up and we'll play with the Celtics. So each time, you know, they call me to go back up with the Celtics, and I look forward to it. And each time I'm assigned to come back to Maine, I look forward to that as well, to get better.
Now, everyone was surprised you got into that game early on in the season. Were you surprised, and what was that opportunity like to make your NBA debut?
Like I told everybody else, I was nervous. You know, I didn't expect to get in, but Coach Stevens trusted me, put me in there, and you know, it was a big moment for me to get my first NBA minutes, NBA points, especially on the road win against the Sixers. It was pretty fun.
Kadeem, what is that moment going to be like for you when you get that call? Because you know it's going to come.
I really don't know, honestly. You know, hopefully get my number called and just go in, play hard how I always do, give max effort and try to do what I can do to help the team win.
So you guys are our first ever two-way players. This is a new thing in the NBA G League. What do you think about the process? You mentioned it's a lot of traveling, but that's what you signed up for. What do you think about being a two-way player?
I think, you know, for guys who get picked up late in the second round, it's a great opportunity. You know, I've seen in past years drafts, a lot of guys get picked in the 50s, you know, don't even stay with the team for the season, or they don't even go to the G League, they might go overseas. So, you know, to have the opportunity to, you know, be officially on the roster and have the option, you know, to have them take you back and forth throughout the year, it's a great opportunity for guys in the second round. And, you know, I'm happy, you know, the NBA applied it this year.
You know, I feel we still have the opportunity to, like you said, still get called up. We still get to play in front of a lot of good fans that like the Celtics and also love the Red Claws. So I feel we're in a blessed position and in a great situation.
One of the things I noticed about the Red Claws, it seems like there's a lot of good team chemistry. You guys are both drafted this year, went through Celtics training camp, summer league, and all that. Do you feel like there's a good camaraderie between everybody here?
Definitely. We've got a great group of guys. You know, everybody seems to be pretty humble. You know, we like playing with each other. And you can see it on the court when we play, you know. I haven't been here the whole time, but when I do come up, you know, I can feel it, you know. I feel like I haven't missed a beat.
This is Kids in Claws. This is just kids from the local area in Portland, just interacting and playing basketball with our kids right here. It's really important for our players, especially, to develop on the court, but off the court as well. You know, especially, you know, whatever level they get to after this, they're going to be doing a lot of this stuff, especially at the NBA level. So it's really important to be balanced, you know, on the court, but off the court as well. This is the first time since the cuts have been made, our roster's been trimmed down, that we can kind of come together as a team. It's really important for us, you know, just from a team bonding standpoint, especially, you know, from that standpoint, also to do something well and give back to the community, you know, and help the guys and the people that are going to be here, hopefully on Friday night, to cheer us on. To play basketball against our guys, obviously, it's pretty special. Just seeing them, you know, ask for autographs and stuff like that, I think is really, really cool thing. And it's fun to see our guys. You know, they've done a great job of just interacting with them, you know, everything like that. I'm sure they kind of see themselves a lot in these kids, so I think it's a great thing. These is a great group of guys. You know, we're really excited about the group that we have in. You know, they're extremely talented, coachable guys. They're hardworking guys. You know, I really feel like the community especially will get behind them and support them all the way, especially after they see them play. That's all we've kind of stressed, and that's all that really these players are, is they always come to work ready to go. They're extremely hardworking guys, and they don't really know one way to play. So I'm excited to see them get to work officially.
Come cheer on your three-time Atlantic Division champion Maine Red Claws as they open their 9th season in style. Witness a night of high-flying dunks, wild plays, and the thrilling excitement of Crustacean Nation, all starting at $7. Call our ticket office or head to MaineRedClaws.com to purchase your tickets.
Here, in this league, we're not okay with strong. We go stronger. We don't settle for fast. We go faster. We don't want next. We want next level. Here, we go all out. Because we're all in. This is our league. And here, we don't go for good. We go for great.
S3E2. S3E2.
Delta Dental knows every smile has the power to tell a story.
S3E2 にお会いできてとても嬉しく思います。
Like, welcome to the family. As the nation's leading dental benefits provider, we make it easy to protect your smile and keep it healthy.
I look at it as though every house is mine and my family's in it. There's a lot of responsibility with it, but I'd want the same if it was somebody coming to my house. You know, it's important. You know, I believe in the product.
We've got a lot of great programs in community policing that we've been working for decades. I think some of the best programs are around youth and our interaction with our kids here in the community. And one we've had in place since 2005 is called Shop with a Cop. And that program is, if you can imagine, hundreds of kids around the community that are writing letters about why they want to shop for their families, not shop for themselves, but shop for presents for their families so that they can give back to those that they love day to day. So we receive those letters and then we review those. As you can imagine, it's incredibly difficult to try to pick out. Ultimately, this year would be 12 youth. And then we would escort them to Target, as an example, who's been a great partner in this program since the beginning. And we'll take them shopping, we'll help them select out the gifts. They come back here. In many cases, we do right here in this particular conference room, we help wrap the gifts and get prepared with that. So you have gift giving, you have that side of the experience, but you also have an opportunity to interact with the human side of police officers and build that relationship, which I think is equally as important. The Maine Red Claws have been a stellar partner in the community since they arrived. I think it was really 7 years ago. So for this particular program and several others throughout the year, it's going to be great to have them on board. And I think the kids are going to be so excited to be working with Crusher tonight. I think it'll be a lot of fun. And ultimately, tonight is going to end at the Red Claws game, which is something completely different and off the charts in comparison to what we've done in years past. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to eclipse any dream that they ever would have had. I can just picture them all in one day. They're going to have all these incredible experiences, and in many regards, they're going to see folks that they idolize and folks that are really giving back for the community. So I think everybody's going to learn and everybody's going to have a great experience across the board. I know that I can speak for my police officers for the last dozen years or so. This is one of the best nights that they have of the year. And they're going to be smiling from ear to ear when this is done. And I can absolutely say that the players are going to be in exactly the same situation.
Well, for me personally, it's one of those times of the year where everybody kind of gets together as a family. Everybody's just kind of busy during the year, so it's one of those times where everybody kind of gets to slow down a little bit, and especially for basketball players, we're always all over the place, so it's not so much about the presents for me as you get older. I just kind of value the quality time you get to spend with family, because I don't get that much time out of the year.
We have really good traditions and just time to have fun, eat a lot of food, and just, you know, celebrate the birth of Jesus. That's it.
We have major get-togethers on both sides of the family, so it's by far my favorite time of the year along with the rest of my family. So it means a lot just because basketball this time of year, normally you're getting into the meat of your season. So to get a day or two here and there, it's like precious time to be home. So looking forward to that, and I always love this season.
My mom always told me just to give and just be thankful for what you got. So
I usually wake up pretty early, you know, definitely being one of the younger siblings. I woke up pretty early, got some breakfast, opened presents, helped grandma set up table for when the family come over. We always have the same, every holiday, Christmas, Thanksgiving, don't matter. Have a good feast, watch some, Cowboys usually on. So we watch the Cowboys game and just relax.
It's really weird. I don't know how it started, but we eat Burger King every Christmas Eve. I don't know why, but we do it. We've done it since I was a little kid. We just eat Burger King every year.
We all meet up at our grandma's house and eat and just celebrate what we got for Christmas, or just talk and have fun. So.
Kind of a non-traditional thing for my family is our main gifts will be unwrapped as if they were, left under the tree. So you come down, you see what your main gifts are. That's always fun. You have your little pile of your wrapped presents. You're running around with the family, go wake up your parents. They're cooking breakfast, having a big get together. So I can't think of a specific memory, but just the collection of everything. I just enjoy it.
All my younger, cousins and nephews always came over at around the same time on Christmas Eve, and grown up and stuff were, at home, and we just played games the night before, drunk eggnog. I like eggnog, so we had eggnog. And
I think I was around 12, and we were in Baltimore, Maryland, and it snowed, I think, record high of about 5 feet, and I was able to go on top of the roof and jump off the house into the snow. Like, we made a huge snow pile, and we were jumping off the house, making snowmen and stuff like that. It was record high, and I haven't been in that much snow since, so that was really fun memory for me.
I would say I got a mini motorcycle back when I was like 12, and all the kids from the neighborhood just used to ride around like the whole city and just to show off our bikes and stuff like that. So
the best Christmas gift I got was the Xbox 360. And I got the Madden and the NBA game to go with it. And that's when the first Xbox came out. So they sold all right away. Nobody could get them, didn't have any expectations for it. Came down. Somehow my dad found it was under the tree. That was probably the best gift. And that was probably around 2002, something like that. So, wow, I didn't realize it was that long ago.
I wanted a drum set. My dad got me a drum set. And little did I know, I was scared of loud sounds. And so my sister, knowing that, decided to beat the drum set the entire Christmas morning, and I was crying. And of course, we have it on film, so.
My grandma bought me the helicopter, spinning in the air. I probably broke it like a week later, because I didn't know how to fly the thing, but it's probably the most memorable moment for me.
I was that kid that always tried to sneak presents. The night before, I was always looking in the closets and under the bed and stuff like that, trying to figure out where my presents were. So it was just, we would try to go to bed at a decent time, but we were just so anxious, ended up waking up. We didn't need an alarm clock, we just wake up about 5 or 6 and head downstairs and see what we got if I didn't find my presents the night before.
Any of the Temptations Christmas CD, Mariah Carey Christmas CD, Stevie Wonder, any of them. I mean, you name it, we listen to it.
My favorite Christmas movie is by far Elf.
Are you Buddy the Elf?
I mean, I love syrup. Like, I could drink syrup. I'm actually trying to lose weight. Me and Coach actually have something, so I can't drink a whole bunch of syrup right now, but I mean, could be Buddy, why not?
Unum's had a wonderful relationship with the Red Claws. Ever since their inaugural season, we've sent groups of 80 that otherwise wouldn't have the opportunity to go to the games. Groups like Boys and Girls Club, or it could be Ronald McDonald House guests, or it could even be Big Brothers Big Sisters. We look for groups that otherwise wouldn't have the opportunity or the resources to get to these games, and we try to make it a real meaningful experience for them. Unum purchased all of Section 7 behind one of the hoops. There's 78 seats, and we bring these groups to each of the games. What we like to do is have one group per game, but there are times when we'll take two groups and bring them in and they join together. Our goal is, first of all, for them to have a great time. The second thing is for them to have an experience that they can take with them back to their friends and relatives. Occasionally we'll get the opportunity to take some of the kids down courtside, and a few of the players, you know, they get to know us and they know the groups that we bring in and really feel very good about it. More than a couple times when a player has dunked a ball, it's come over and slapped the leg of one of the kids, just as a, you know, we know you're here, we believe in you too, and enjoy the game. You know, the kids really get a lot out of speaking to the players and hearing about their history. As you can well imagine, anybody that's playing in the G League, as they call it now, has had different types of backgrounds. They're very humble people, and they want to give back. And it's a wonderful thing to see the players speaking to the kids and letting them know about some of the things that they've gone through in their life, and they pass that along to the kids that we have in attendance. One of the reasons we've chosen to partner with the Maine Red Claws is because a lot of the same characteristics that they show in the community, we have ourselves in the community. They believe in great customer service and supporting groups. Through community relations, we believe and love to have our employees attend these games. And what better way to get to know some of these groups that we have at the game than to let them go to the game, bring their families, and serve as hosts for the groups that come in. We get special admission an hour before each home game for our groups to be able to watch practice and get to see some of the things that happen before a game that others, you know, don't really get to see. So it makes them feel special. A lot of times players will come over and say hello. A ball will get loose into the stands and they'll joke around with the kiddos and take them out on the court. It's a great experience both for our employees and the groups that we invite. It's an amazing thing to see them at the games having fun, and they're just so appreciative of just the little things, and you know, the look on the faces when the kids see these players that are 7 feet tall and just really, I think, some of the best athletes in the world. It's amazing, and they can learn a lot from these athletes, from physical fitness and that they're taking care of themselves to making the right decisions in life. And I think even as adults, when we have some of the chaperones that go to the game, they take a lot out of that as well.
Thanks for watching Crustacean Nation. Who knows what excitement this season holds? Until then, we'll see you at the games, Portland. Go Red Claws!